people, I'm Nate, and this is Let's Talk Yo-Yo. Okay, so today we're gonna do a look at, I guess it's a review, but we're gonna take a first look at the Kot-N, which is boutique cotton string by one of my sponsors, ZipLine Strings. And very excited about this. I had heard rumors of Jeremy working on this a while back, but then, you know, just then whenever Fixed Axle Yo-Yo came around this year and we sponsored that through this channel, I went ahead and reached out to him. I said, hey, I remember you saying something about a cotton string you were working on, and he talked about some of the setbacks with that and how challenging that was to really do it to his level. If you know Jeremy and you follow ZipLine and you've bought any of their string, you know how meticulous he is. This is one of the reasons I love supporting ZipLine Strings, is because he really cares about his product. And so when you get a string from him, you know that it's worth the value, and he put such passion and heart and time and expertise into making that. It's just quite the craft. And so this has been a long time in the making, and very deliberate in every little choice that was made to what we have here. It's called the Kot-N, which is kind of fun. Before we even get into it, before we unbox it or unpackage it or whatever, right? Let's take a look at that logo. I love that. Really simple on that brown there. It looks nice. It looks very classy. It looks very artisanal. All right, it is artisanal. It's handmade, right? Kot-N, K-O-T-N, Kot-N, 100% boutique cotton string. Yeah, it's pretty cool. First thing you're gonna notice if you play Fixed Axle Yo-Yo, and why? By the way, why do you need cotton string, right? Why would you use cotton string? Well, it's mainly for wooden axle yo-yos, typically fixed axle yo-yos, because of polyester or nylon. With that friction over time, with the sleeping and spinning and all of that, it tends to wear down and burn through a string, literally, and you'll lose your yo-yo really quickly. So you can play polyester on a wooden fixed axle yo-yo, but it's not going to last very long. So most players, if not all players, use cotton or some blend of that, and because that's just the only option. Most cotton string out there, though, that you find, it's pretty cheap. I don't know of anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, who has actually successfully made a boutique cotton string. I think maybe some have attempted it, but there's nothing currently on the market. Again, I could be misinformed and I might not know all the details out there, but this is the first of its kind that I'm aware of. And the first thing you're going to notice is how white it is. Most of the cotton string that's out there is kind of like that off-white, tan, whatever color. Kind of looks like it's already dirty, which is fine, you know, but it doesn't pop as much as white string. So for visibility, I think white string is going to be great for that. So let's take a closer look at it. In the pack comes with a 3-pack, so it's fairly limited as far as what you can get. You're not gonna be able to buy bulk of this, but that wouldn't make it boutique, would it? Nice thickness. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, obviously, how thick it is. It's not, I don't think it is overly thick. It's not overly thin. So it's gonna get a nice wide range of your fixed axle yo-yos. I have quite a few different fixed axle yo-yos that have a little wider gap. And then I have some that have very thin gaps. And I think this is nice in between for that. That's gonna really fit a lot of yo-yos. Doesn't have a lot of bounce, but a little bit. You know, more so than I think most cotton does, but it should break in like pretty much right away. Most cotton string that's already out there is pretty frayy already. Frayy, is that a word? Pardon, my children are fighting inside, and you know, I should be parenting them, but you know. Anyways, but yeah, this doesn't look like it's fraying at all, like immediately. Like you can just tell the quality of it. You can tell that it's good quality cotton. Now looking at the end, okay, it's kind of hard to tell exactly, and I'm not a string maker myself. You know, I've messed around with it a few times, but it does look like there are 2 different types of threads here. So there might be 2 different blends of cotton that he messed with. I'm not going to assume that Jeremy will disclose his formula. That's kind of its thing, right? Like boutique string makers, kind of, that's their secret, that's their thing. And so, but you can kind of tell there that it seems like there are 2 different threads there. Not positive on that 100%, but that's my guess. Welcome back. So like I said, I went ahead and put a brand new out of the package string on using the Urchin today by Spinworthy. Love this yo-yo, nice and slimline, and it's great. It has, like, the gap itself has no like drilled holes or anything like that, and so it just is its own response just because of the gap width. I picked this yo-yo because it has a thinner gap, and I wanted to see how it responded with this string. Now, full disclosure, I did actually put a little bit of wax on it because I felt like, on the string itself, because it wasn't quite to my liking for response. It's a very slick string out of the box, or out of the bag rather, which is good actually, because you can kind of customize it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I took a little bit of chapstick, actually, that's all I used. I actually made this chapstick, so it's mostly beeswax and a little bit of coconut oil, and it's got a little bit peppermint, so now my string smells like peppermint. It's great. So I threw just a little bit of that on the end of the loop there where it attaches to the axle, not too much. So now my response is exactly where I want it. So like I said, that white is really nice. It pops. It's got great visibility. The other thing that's really nice about this string is it has great tension. Boutique string typically in general, not even just cotton string, has better tension. So that's actually a really good feature for fixed axle play, having good tension, so that you can have those open loops for things like kick flips and what have you. Anytime you're working with a loop and you're not worried about that sort of over twisting on you, it's good. It's good for that. So I'll show you case in point. See how it opens up? See how I didn't catch that? See how it opens up there? It stays really nice and open, and just the tension just lasts a lot longer. The other thing that's really great that boutique strings oftentimes offer is how much softer they are on the hands. This string is really nice and soft. There's a lot, I feel like sometimes in fixed axle play there's a little bit more like string burn that sometimes happens just because of the style of tricks that you're throwing with stalls and so on. There's just a lot of string connectivity and so on, and I feel like because of that, like there's going to be less string burn, just a lot softer, really nice and forgiving on the hands. It's kind of like one of those things you didn't realize you needed until you had it, because it's like if you play fixed axle a lot or at all, you kind of only have really not many options at all out there. And now that once you play this, you'll notice the difference right away, and I don't think you're going to want to go back to normal cotton string. So that's going to do it for just a quick little look at the boutique cotton string by ZipLine Strings. And as usual, good day and good yo-yo.